we're going to be talking about how cryptocurrency is going to impact the world of film, of filmmaking, especially independent filmmaking. And this cryptocurrency is something totally novel, innovative. It has not been done before. It's called FilmCoin. We're going to be getting into the tokenomics and why this is going to change the film industry at large. I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, for liking, for lighting up that bell. So I have here today with me Terry Stone, who is a veteran in the film industry, is an actor, a producer, and one of the founders of FilmCoin, and Paul Carroll, who is also part of FilmCoin and is really focusing on the technical side of things and innovating the actual smart contract. So thank you both for being here and explaining more about FilmCoin and how it works.
Thanks for having us on, Joanna. And it's lovely to have a space to let the world know about what we're doing.
FilmCoin, for someone that doesn't even understand about cryptocurrency and they want to know what it is, could you just share a little bit of how this came about? You've been in the industry for a long time. We know from being within film, TV, that it is typically really, really hard to get a project off the ground if you are not in the studio system or not part of one of the main networks, having come through BBC or Channel 4 or something in that regard. How did this come about? And if you could explain a bit about that.
Yeah, well, we met, the original conversation that we had was about, using NFTs to raise funding for films. And I've never really been into crypto. So my initial response was, what's an NFT? And they said, it's a non-fungible token. I said, I still don't know what you're talking about. I said, why don't we actually meet up and have a conversation? So we met up, we had a conversation, and long story short, I got the benefits of NFTs and what you could do with NFTs to create an additional revenue stream to the filmmaking process, and also make the ability to get involved in a film for everybody in the world. So whether you're working in McDonald's or whether you're working in Goldman Sachs or whether you've got your own business, I think if you said to anybody on the street, we're making a film, it's independent, do you want to support us? People would want to support British, obviously I'm a British filmmaker, but for British filmmakers or for independent filmmakers worldwide, a lot of people like supporting the arts, and a lot of people would like to invest in a film, but they wouldn't know where to start, who to ring. And as soon as you say to somebody about investing in a film, they think, oh wow, I need to write a big check. So we thought, we could do something quite interesting here. And the conversation we had was, we were just talking about crypto in general. And I was sort of like, you keep hearing this about Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and blah, blah, blah. What's your views on where the market's going to go? And Paul sort of said, really you want to be, if you're going to, get involved in this space, really, you need to be in early with the founders, or you need to create your own. And I said, well, to my knowledge, nobody's done a film coin. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to fuse crypto with NFTs and film, and also television, but any content that, so whether it was music, whether it was film, whether it was TV, we're calling it film coin, but really it's a content coin. It could be used for anything. We left that meeting sort of saying, yeah, let's explore it. Paul then spoke to Danish Chowdhury. Danish Chowdhury loved the idea. We got on a call. He flew into London. We met up, and he just said, there's nothing like this in the world at the moment. He said the potentials of it is it could obviously disrupt the existing business, and you could end up creating a digital studio out of this. And to me, as an independent filmmaker, the challenges I have is obviously getting the funding. That's the first one. The second one is getting the distribution, and then the third one is hoping that the sales companies, the distribution companies, don't go out of business before having money. And this has happened numerous times over my 19-year career. And what I love about doing this on the blockchain is obviously as and when any revenue is created, everyone gets paid. There's no 6-month wait. There's no creative accounting. It's just as soon as that transaction's happened, we get paid. And I just thought, what I love about it is you're not relying on anybody to pay you. You know, you have full creative control over your content. And, you know, anybody who's in the independent film that's gone to a broadcaster, a studio or a streamer for funding will have a list of things, what they've got to do to their script if they want to get it funded. And obviously what we've found over the past few years is that the independent creative filmmaking process isn't independent anymore. It's basically being guided by what people think people want. And obviously we sort of thought, you know, we've always made films that we, you know, thought were good. We haven't had a committee telling us what to do, and we've been very successful at it. You know, we've sold films to Netflix, Amazon, Sony, Universal, Paramount. So, you know, we just thought, you know, we're not the only independent filmmakers in the world. So we just, you know, that really is, you know, what got us engaged in this. And obviously, you know, you fast forward 6 months, you know, to sort of December, and then, you know, like, wow, we're launching this in 2 months, you know. So that was very exciting for us because, you know, normally these things take years, but I think because all of the team were drawn to the idea, and I think, you know, just the same as the film business, if you've got a good script, you know, people want to be in the film as actors, people want to direct it, people want to do music for it. It's the same in this space, you know. Everybody complains about these sort of rogue cryptocurrencies that are set up, and, you know, they have no utility and they're just being set up, and people are pumping and dumping and doing all this, you know, negative stuff. And you know, we actually had a conversation. We said we actually welcome regulation, you know, because we're going to do it properly. So, you know, I think because we're approaching it from, you know, a business angle, and we're actually doing it properly, and we've got a great team of people supporting what we're doing. You know, I've been excited about lots of things in my life, but this is probably one of the most exciting things I've been involved in.
And what you said from a regulation standpoint, I see one of your founding partners was a partner of KPMG, so they're going to very much understand about those tax laws and compliance. So that's a positive thing. I noticed from the background from your executive team. A couple of other key things that stood out to me about what you said. One is this is going to be the first digital studio, really fully digital, rather than, say, an existing film studio or TV network that exists and then they are pivoting and adding something on. You're doing this from the ground up. Another thing that stands out to me is I remember many years ago when the British government launched the the Enterprise Investment Scheme for the EIS, and what you're talking about there about that funding is maybe one could get from sort of different sources or different pre-sales deals in place, but it would always be like that last 10% that would be the hardest, or getting that tax money. There are a lot of conditions, is what I'm hearing from you, that would then maybe affect the creative integrity of that film, of that project. And then the most important thing that I'm hearing from you as well about in regards to the smart contract for FilmCoin, which I think Paul will get into and explain a little bit about afterwards, with the mechanics of that and the utility, is that there is full transparency a lot of the time, right? When, say, as an independent filmmaker, one sells one's film, and then how do you know when you're in net profit? How does that investor know when they're actually going to get those funds back? It's, at least on the blockchain, you can't change it. It's immutable. So there cannot be any doctoring of the books. And then including everyone, right? Including all people in this process.
I think one of the key selling points, Joanna, which I failed to mention earlier, but you've just reminded me, is with what we're doing. You know, the only people that really, you know, get hurt when companies go out of business or where things don't work is obviously the creatives and the people that are the investors. So I think, you know, the investors don't have to, and the creatives don't have to rely on a piece of paper saying this is how much the film's generated. They can literally go on the blockchain and look at it. So from a transparency point of view, and from you know, I think people just want to know how many DVDs it sold, how many, you know, times has it been, you know, streamed or downloaded or sold. You know, if it's all on the blockchain, you know, like you said, nobody can argue with it. You know, there it is in black and white, and that's what we really like about it, because what it does, from my perspective, is it empowers creatives to take back control of their content, and it's happening in the music business right now. It's happening in the art world right now. So obviously, the film TV space is next, and I'm just glad that we're right at the front of it.
Now, you have a slate of films ready to go, films that you've written, you're going to star in, and direct as well. What about for other people who are filmmakers, who are excited about this, and they go, wow, I'd love to have my project go through FilmCoin? Is there going to be a way that people can submit for that? Is it sort of a little bit like Studio System or Film 4 or something, where it has to be approved by a team?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the way it will work. The reason why I've got such a big slate is because in lockdown we spent a lot of time developing content, getting rights to write up content, and the one thing I've always done is create content. So for me, I've always been looking for a funding mechanism to fund my content. So, you know, our funding mechanism isn't exclusive to us; it's open to everybody, and obviously, we're not just going to go around throwing money around any old film just because it's independent. Obviously, there's got to be a level of commerciality about it, and obviously, you know, you know, as an independent filmmaker, you know, I get how hard it is, and anything I can do to help other independent filmmakers. And really, the beautiful thing about this is the more successful the FilmCoin is, the more films we're going to be greenlighting, developing, making. And obviously, you know, we've got a lead into the US through Courtney, and you know, she's got a great team of people around her. And you know, we're looking at the world with this. We're not just saying, oh, because we live in Britain, you know, let's all just be best of British. You know, we're looking at it that we're Brits, but our team aren't all British. You know, there's Australians, there's people from Miami, there's people from LA, there's people from Colombia, there's people from all over the world. So we've got a worldwide team, and obviously what we're looking to do is create a worldwide brand, but also, you know, any independent film anywhere in the world, with or without subtitles, is we're open for business. So we would never say, oh, you know, we've got 70 points for you to tick for us to look at your project. You know, if you've got a good project with a good director and good casting, obviously we're interested. But
So that's interesting. So that here's another point to this, I guess. There's one point where sort of your team, because of your expertise, could green light a project. Will you at any point have, sort of like within certain tokens or cryptos, where you have like a DAO, a governance, and then the people who hold FilmCoin would be able to vote to have certain projects greenlit? Is that like will that be part of a strategy in place for FilmCoin?
I think we're gonna want to include, you know, FilmCoin holders in the process. So you know, I think initially we've, in our white paper, it says what we're doing, what our slate is, but you know, all these types of things will be added on, and obviously once we've got a massive community of millions of people worldwide, then you know, if you actually want to sell the end product of what you're creating, if you didn't reach out to the people that hold the FilmCoin and ask them what they think, you'd be stupid. So our whole thing is, you know, we want to empower creatives to make content, but we also want to empower our FilmCoin holders to be able to tell us what they like, what they don't like. You know, when the Hollywood studios make a film, they do a test screening and they get, you know, 200 random people from wherever, and they sit there and watch the film, and then they tick some boxes saying whether they liked it, whether they didn't like it, what they thought they could improve, etc., etc. So really, what the, you know, test screening process, but being able to do that with millions of people, you know, if you've got millions of people that say, well, we like true crime films, or we like period films, or we like comedy films, you know, then, you know, you kind of think, well, we've already got a built-in market. And that really goes back to what we were saying about you know, having a worldwide brand. You know, if you've got a couple of million or 5 million or 10 million or 100 million people worldwide that physically, you know, support what we're doing, then obviously, you know, for us to be able to reach out to them, it's no different to Netflix. When Netflix put a film on worldwide, and the algorithms tell Netflix that, you know, everyone likes that film and that actor. So you know, we're going to be looking at similar things because, as I said, we're looking at this as a business and we're looking at this as a long-term company, not just a short-term. Do a coin and see what happens. We're thinking about, you know, things that are happening in 2 or 3 years' time.
The underlying problems for most token offerings are, you know, the foundations of the token and how you use it, the utility and the functionality. But it's all about the management of that token and the science behind who can actually do what with it. FilmCoin is based, the owner or the beneficiary of FilmCoin is 2 companies. One is a public company on the stock exchange in the US, and the other one is a Terry's company, which is a super successful movie making business. And the tokenomics that are set are based around a consortium of people making the decision what's best for the token rather than the individual. So the DAO system is already included within the foundations of the token, and then we'll expand that DAO to the bigger community, as Terry said, as and when that time is right. So you'll see the flow on the document you've got. The 2 companies at the top manage the wallets, the treasury, the operations wallet, the advisory, the burn wallet, and there's about 8 or 9 wallets in total that a consortium of people manage, and the tokens will be released from them wallets as the consortium of people decide rather than 1 or 2 people. And then that money that generates through the tokenomics and the science behind the tokenomics will then be fed into the business, whether it be making a movie, whether it be expanding the e-commerce platform, whether it'll be redeveloping the NFT platform. We'll decide that as a group rather than as an individual as we move forward through our journey in time. I think you'll see on that diagram it's quite self-explanatory. The 2 companies at the top of the tree, they manage the corporation, which then manage the wallets in between, rather than an individual person managing 1 wallet with, you know, tokenomics in it. The burn wallet is a wallet that's created to buy back your tokens as a company, and you either store them in a storage wallet or you can burn them on market. So them wallets then basically, them tokens are no longer available to buy, sell, trade or swap, which then enhances the value of the token that's left, in short. We've started off with a small amount in that burn wallet, but we can take the tokens from other wallets should we wish, put them in the burn wallet over time, and then we can store them in the burn wallet, and then we will make strategic announcements to the market every 6 months, every 3 months, every 4 months, whatever the consortium decide, and then we will continually burn tokens as we travel through our journey. That amount is to be determined, but immediately the first cliff, I think, is 6 months. The first cliff will burn 4%.
And that just for people who are newer to crypto is to create a deflationary aspect to the token.
Correct. 1 billion tokens on offer, fully diluted. When we go to market on the 28th, we are releasing circa 8% to the market, and there's a 6 to 4 month cliff for any more tokens to be released to the market thereafter. And the consortium again will decide what's best for the tokenomics around that release strategy into the market. But initially, there's only going to be 8% of the tokens available to buy, sell, swap or trade for the first 6 months. We really want to grow our own ecosystem on our exchanges that we've chosen, manage the token and manage the scalability of that token. And then once we've done that, we will go to a larger exchange. FMFW is, you know, it's quite a large exchange. Every 24 hours, I think its total transaction value is between 2.5 to 3 billion US dollars. So they've got quite a large transaction value on that exchange already. And the liquidity on that exchange is very good. Changelly is the same. Different people on different exchanges. We will be on them both. And then after a few months of trading on them 2 exchanges and potentially the traditional exchanges that everybody knows, we may then springboard onto Coinbase. Binance maybe, but Coinbase will be our target over the next 12 months.
Can you share a little bit about what I see here about the NFT, and is that is going to be some form of a utility token?
Yeah. FilmCoin is a utility token. Across the board, there's no securitization. You're not buying shares in the company, and you're not taking a share of the revenue of the company. FilmCoin's specifically utility, which is a very different token, and it covers very different corporate governance around that token. So the NFT platform is an underpinning platform of the movie. So everything movie driven will be placed on the e-commerce and NFT platform. FilmCoin powers e-commerce and NFTs. The platform is currently under development. It's in its final stages of beta testing now. We should have the FilmCoin NFT platform and e-commerce platform up and live within the next 3 or 4 weeks. And everything that we're going to do on the movie will be available on e-commerce and NFT. The good thing about NFTs in let's take movies for instance, what that does, it brings incremental revenue from revenue streams that you wouldn't aim to achieve in a normal film. Like, we can tokenize the artwork, we can tokenize the music, we can tokenize the clothing within the movie, certain clips and experiences within the movie, and specifically NFTs around, you know, the stars of the movie, like Terry and his character. We can NFT that, and then you move to avatars within the character that we can. There's 101 things. The good thing with NFTs, it's where your creative mind will take you, and we've got some of the best creative minds in the business engaged in FilmCoin.
Very exciting. Will those NFTs, from the artwork to the avatars to, you know, all these special unique things surrounding whatever that project is that you're releasing, will you have will it be exclusively on the FilmCoin NFT marketplace, or would it also be available, say, on OpenSeas or on Nifty Gateway?
Good question. Yeah, no, we're the thing with cryptocurrency is I think FMFW that speaks well, you know, free the money, free the world. We need everybody everywhere to be able to access everything without any boundaries, and basically permissionless and borderless. So yeah, our NFT platform is connected to OpenSea, Rarible, and the alike. So immediately when you manufacture or mint an NFT on our platform, you are automatically connected to OpenSea, and you know, users can go on there as well. It's an open platform, it's open source. Should you want to lodge your own NFT on there, you can. It's not just for our movies. We're going to open it to the world and allow people to mint their own NFTs on our platform. So FilmCoin is the underpinning currency. Your usage on that platform, you can use Ethereum, Bitcoin, credit card, debit card to buy FilmCoin and use it on the platform. Should you choose to do that, you will have better VIP access to certain things that you wouldn't have if you just buy with your normal currency. We're not going to alienate Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Tether, Dash, or credit card payments. But if you use FilmCoin, you will have added benefits on that platform, specifically around staking the FilmCoin and that type of thing.
So you'll be able to do get staking rewards as well. Correct. Is what you're saying with that NFT side of things. It's sort of like how Disney would have merchandising. You know, that this is really for FilmCoin. This is, if you're holding FilmCoin, this gives you access to. I mean, if the merchandising's going well, then that's a value as a FilmCoin token holder. And then on the e-commerce side of things, you're getting those benefits and rewards, but there's also, you're getting to share in those gains that are there potentially as well.
Exactly, correct. Staking is all about valuing the token over a long period of time. I think in the white paper we mentioned a few times that, you know, FilmCoin's it's a long-term play. It's a business rather than a quick smash and grab. If you want to invest in FilmCoin, you need to understand you're investing in a business and not just a quick smash and grab, or you're not going to make 100 times your money in the next 20 minutes. It's not that type of token. It's a business, and that business then for me personally, you know, it's a 3 or 4 year play, and we're going to build out our ecosystem over that time. And Stake and FilmCoin will then bring you along that journey, and you'll acquire all the benefits that come with traditional staking. As you said, you access to certain things that you don't get if you don't stake, and the benefits that come with it and the rewards over time, whether it be FilmCoin, whether it be merchandise, whether it be access to movies, whether it be on-set days out. There's 101 things that we can choose from, and the team are working progressively hard in the background doing that right now, which is quite exciting. But yeah, staking is, for me, it's the best thing since sliced bread if you're manufacturing a token.
You made a great point, Paul, that about this going into something like this. It's not like a get rich quick. This is
No.
Yeah. This also, what we're sharing here is not investment advice, and you always have to do your own due diligence to see if it's a fit for you, and just knowing that whatever investment one goes into, FilmCoin or any crypto, that you can lose everything. A decade from now, what do you envisage for FilmCoin?
Well, I mean, obviously, as we said earlier, you know, we're all looking at this as a proper business. You know, I always like to create lists. So every year I will say, this is my wish list of what I want to achieve. This is what I want to make. This is what I want to do. And I've done it with FilmCoin, and you know, I'd love to win an Oscar and a BAFTA with one of our films, and we've got an Oscar-winning director who's actually written us a script, and he is absolutely, you know, on fire at the moment. So that becomes a distinct possibility. You know, I think having a digital studio, again, you know, people go, oh, you know, will it all go digital? We're not sure. But, you know, we had a film that I starred in alongside Vinnie Jones called Rise of the Foot Soldier Origins, which was released digitally. And although it still went in the cinema and it did the usual stuff, there was no, you know, posters on walls. There was no radio advertising. There was no TV advertising. There was no traditional advertising. It was all done on phones and on computers. And what's interesting is that has been the most successful film to date out of the 5 films that were made. So that really gave me a wake-up call, really, that, you know, we are going digital. And the amount of people that we've spoken to about the metaverse, and a lot of people say, well, would the metaverse, you know, take off? Well, you know, anybody who's got a child who's, you know, 16 below that plays Call of Duty or Fortnite, that is the metaverse. So it's
exactly. My son, that's my son. My
Yeah.
son is 12. When he first started getting all those skins and things from Fortnite, me trying to get him to watch a movie in the, you know, to go to a movie theater or to watch something on a big screen is very hard. Everything is off a device. Everything is digital. And so I do agree with you 100%. We are in the nascent phases of the digital age and the metaverse, and it really is the future. So
yeah, well, that's how we see it, Joanna. And I think the big thing for me is, you know, my 7-year-old is more, you know, she knows more about computers and iPads and iPhones and stuff, and she hasn't even got one. So, you know, I used to look at people that would watch films on phones, and I'd shake my head and I'd be like, what are you doing? You know, go to the cinema. You can't watch content like that. But really, it's just the way it's gone, you know. And I think one of the things that COVID's done is it's increased that digital movement. It's made people realize they don't need to go to the cinema to watch film. They don't need to watch it on a big screen. Some people still like watching it on a big screen. I still like a cinema, but I'm old school. You know, I used to beg my mum and dad to go to the cinema every week, at least twice. Now my kids, I have to drag them. Like you said, you know, your kids are more interested on being on social media or playing a game. So I just think the timing for FilmCoin, it's definitely the right time. It's definitely the right place. And you know, just like Netflix and Amazon and Disney and you know, Apple have disrupted the cinemas and the studios, you know, this is going to disrupt them. And you know, I think, you know, we know how to make content. We know, you know, with TikTok and social media now, you know, if you actually made a film and you know, you cast the right people in it, it's very easy to get that film, the awareness out there without spending 10 million on advertising and marketing, you know. So I think that the world's definitely changing. I think this year, by the end of this year, I definitely think our business will be fully digital. I mean, it already is going that way. I mean, you know, in the old days, you'd stick a cinema poster up in the cinema and you'd have to deliver what they call a print, which was like a cam with a reel in it. Now it's all just uploaded on the server, the poster, the thing, it goes on the digital screens in the cinema, someone presses play and that's it. You know, there's no, you know, there's no sort of physical assets anymore. So, you know, that's kind of, as I said, it's because it's gone digital, that is really, you know, playing into what we're doing. And, you know, I think we've seen how easy it is to get to people on their phones, their computers, their devices, and you know, the crypto market is so small. If you look at I think it's just under 3 trillion worldwide.
That's
I mean,
right,
Apple's
yeah.
one company. So you think that for me, I think the crypto market will expand. I think the digital way of doing things will expand, and I think more and more people are going to just be used to, actually, I want to watch that. I want to watch it now. I don't want to watch this stuff that's been force fed me by, you know, whoever. I want to watch something that's independent, that's made from my heart, and may not be politically correct. May not, you know, there may be, you know, I sort of find that at the moment with content as well, you know, there seems to be this sort of agenda where everything has to be softened down. And I think some of the greatest films, if you watch, you know, some of the greatest films over the past, you know, 30 years, they're just, some of them are raw. You know, you watch them and you cry and you laugh and, you know, you're shocked by them. You know, that's the sort of stuff I want to make. I don't want to make a film that people watch and it's all nice and, you know, nobody says any naughty words and all this sort of stuff, you know. So, you know, I'm very excited about the future. And, you know, as I said, you know, the reason I got so excited about this particular project when I met Paul and the guys was I could see that it could quite easily be the next big thing. And that's really, look, I'm heavily invested in this. You know, I'm putting my heart and soul into it, as are the whole team. And, you know, we're not doing it because we, you know, are bored or you know, we're doing it because we want to create something good, you know. So,
Well, I know that you're going to do that. And again, just for everyone watching, this is not investment advice. You must do your own due diligence. But from an intuitive perspective, I do feel that this project is not just, I mean, project is vision of what you are building here, creating a digital studio and empowering people to be part of the filmmaking process and really to have a multi-dimensional experience of a film is something that I can really see you doing it and having great success with that and touching many lives around the world. So Terry, Paul, thank you so much for being here with me on Crypto Angel Network. And for those of you also watching, make sure to go check out the filmcoin.io and at Terry Stone Official.
thanks so much, Joanne. Lovely to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.